Welcome back everyone to another mod showcase, and today we're going to be reviewing Galacticraft Legacy. And I know I do sound a little bit exhausted because I just woke up at around 4:30 in the morning because I had pollinitis last night, so I was trying to record but my nose kept running and my nose was stuffy, so it was a little bit harder for me just to speak. And if I was going to be speaking like that, it's just going to be very messy. But anyways, so this version is going to basically have 3 jar files within one, so that's why they call it Galacticraft Legacy. So it makes it a lot easier for players to download this mod without all the confusion. And it also says the older versions can be found on their website. That's if you want to download the individual jar files, I guess for like other reasons, but just stick with the Legacy version. But let me just read the overview about this mod. So it says, Galacticraft allows you to explore the solar system in your own spaceship. But we already know what Galacticraft is capable of. Just look at Astra, for example. I actually used to do a mod showcase for that one, but that was like that. I would say that was my first high production video and try to script everything from scratch. But this time, it's just not going to be like that. It's just going to be showing the experience itself. So on the right side of us, we have is the orb. So we have copper, tin, aluminum, and silicone. So this is going to be added into your world. And it also applies to 1.12.2 because I remember I actually tried playing this at that version with, the combat update and such. But 1.12.2 is very similar to 1.7.10. But it still gives off that really old vibey feel of the classics. So when you download the mod, you'll just come across these new ores. And you also have this nice flooring. So we have, this is copper decorative block, this is tin, this is aluminum. So this is kind of like a blend. So you can actually design a very nice flooring, for your base or for your nice house. But anyways, we have this chest right over here. And also I do want to give out a disclaimer that I did just woke up at around 4 a.m. in the morning. So I still have a little bit of pollinitis, but I'm still going to get over it and be fine. So what we have here is a lot of armor, tools, rockets, and different type of blocks, and some blocks you may be familiar with. So what we have here is the heavy-duty helmets and heavy-duty Dash helmet or whatever. So I guess this was like the older version of Dash. Like Dash could actually be used as armor. I don't remember Dash being armor. It's quite interesting because some of this stuff I've probably never knew before. But if you want to know how to craft this stuff, just install not enough items. And again, I still just woke up, so something's a little bit messy that's coming out of my mouth. So in order to craft the heavy-duty helmet, for example, all you just need is compressed steel, which is coal, compressed iron, and I believe that's when the compressor comes into play. So that is very interesting. Like this is literally the old version of the compressor, and I believe this is like some sort of fuel you gotta put in there just to do that. But it's very interesting that the GUI is a lot different. It's like clunkier, as it says. Even making Dash armor, which requires Dash ingots. Dash ingots is probably from space. Like look at this, unrefined Dash, and this is Dash ore. So basically, this is their version of the Dash ore. It looks very brown with gray. Quite interesting. And if we try to put it on, because I have never put on this armor before, so let me just try it. It's basically similar to diamond. Like look at that. It's very heavy duty looking. It's like basically like a tougher version of iron. So we know how that feels. And then we have Dash armor, which is literally Dash ingots, and we put this on. Oh boy, you can see that it's already overpowered. Like just like putting 3 pieces on, it's already full. And we're even more heavy-duty, but it's quite similar to each other, like that. Like the heavy-duty and the Dash, I would say it's just a slight color change. It's quite interesting. So let me just put this stuff back in there just to keep everything nice and organized. And then we also have the tools. So I think for the tools, it applies the same too. You got to make compressed steel, put it through the compressor. So everything's just going to be compressed steel. And for the Dash, it's basically Dash. But this is very interesting. And we also have the sticky Dash pickaxe. And speaking of sticky Dash pickaxe, sticky piston hosting. Yeah, I guess this is like a good part for me just to place that promotion. just in case, because, you know, I gotta showcase the servers. And you could probably add this to your server for 1.7.10 or 1.12.2. So I'm just going to let the advertisement or partnership roll. Ever wanted to run your own Minecraft server? I know you have already made up your mind, and it's Aternos. Yeah, it's free, and you can invite many players to join. But whenever something is free, there is always a problem. The server has limited add-ons, plugins, and mods you can install. Then you have to wait for the server to load, and it can take 20 minutes to load depending on the add-ons or plugins you install. It even gets worse. If you want to suggest or contact Aternos, it'll take a while to receive a response or possibly take months. In most cases, your suggestions are ignored for the sake of wasting your time. So, I have decided to use Sticky Piston. This server hosting service has 24/7 support, run modpack or vanilla servers, and much more. Sticky Piston has trials that you can test the server experience for 24 hours. You can always renew it if you're not ready to pay. Also, there are trials for running servers to play Minecraft maps. However, these servers are 2 hours instead of 24, but it's enough time to play some decent maps with friends. Wanted to check out the service? Go to trial.stickypiston.co and you will see a list of Minecraft maps you can play. And these are free, by the way. Have an intention to purchase a server? Use my affiliation link or promotion code KeyDevy to save 20% off lifetime for running a server with Sticky Piston. I'm going to say it. Nothing outperforms the piston that is sticky. Okay, so now that you have watched the promotion, we return back to the showcase. So yeah, so that's pretty much the tools here. We can also make the hoe versions of them. But I really want to see what's so important about the sticky dash pickaxe. So in order to make this, okay, it does even have a recipe. That is quite strange, but I'm going to try on some ore just to see how this works. Seems like everything's pretty normal. Like, we can harvest diamonds, we can harvest gold, we can harvest iron, gold. Okay, my mind is very all over the place because I still just woke up in the morning. But you can see that it still mines pretty normal, just like regular, like a diamond pickaxe. But I mean, this stuff is probably a lot better than a diamond pickaxe anyway, since you might be able to save your diamonds for like something that's very important. But still, it gives off that nice feeling of you don't have to work too hard. So we could easily just mine stone and ores and just make things a lot easier. And then we have the rockets and the cargo ships. I mean, I'm not going to go to the heavy details of each and everything. I just showing you guys the experience of using older mods, which this is basically the older version of Ad Astra, while Ad Astra is the newer version of Galacticraft. So, if you want to craft the cargo rockets, I was thinking about actually trying to work on the cargo rocket so we can try to send our stuff to the same location when we enter our rocket. So, in order to basically make a launch pad, all you just need is compressed iron and block of iron, and then you just place it down like you would in the newer version, and it turns into a launch pad, and then you place your cargo rocket just like that, and look at that. It's just like a very nice little model of the rocket. And you can also put all your stuff in here. But in order for you to actually get this going, you're going to have to add some fuel. And you also need a launch pad, because it did highlight that you're going to need a launch pad. And okay, we're on hard difficulty. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it to a day just for now, because I don't want to get, I don't want to destroy this whole course that I just set up. Like, this probably took me like 15 minutes. So I'm just going to try to speed it up a little bit just to make things a little bit intriguing. So we have the NASA workbench. Everybody's familiar with this thing. And interestingly, you can also left shift just to read more info about this stuff. So it says the NASA workbench is used to create many advanced parts and vehicles. New schematics can be added as they are found. Interesting. So if you can just place that down, you can see this is the NASA workbench. It looks very interesting. So when you click this, you can basically make rockets. You can also unlock schematics. It's very interesting. I will say it's a lot more a complex version, or the clunkier version of the current NASA workbench that we're used to. The newer one is a lot easier to make rockets. This one here, I guess this is a lot more easier, but also comes at a cost of actually knowing. So this basically feels a lot more immersive when you're thinking about using this mod. Like Galacticraft is like intentionally technically heavy if you're really into going to space. Like I try to tell you from experience, it's basically like more advanced. And then we have is these rockets here. So you could still make the rockets. Like you just need heavy duty plates, rocket fins, some tier rocket engines. It's basically similar to the current version that we're used to. And just add some chests and you get yourself the tier 1. Tier 2 is likewise. It's just slightly upgraded. And look at that. You got to still put this stuff to the compressor. And the tier 3 is very expensive. Like you're going to have to put a heavy 2 and then a compressed desionaire in the compressor. I'm just going to say, install not enough items because I'm trying to not overwhelm you guys with all this stuff. But it does seem very overwhelming. But don't worry, things are going to be a lot easier once you get used to it. And if you do make this rocket, look how big this beauty. It's so huge, like so massive. Like it's like, I would say it's like 3 times as big than my current player model. That's very interesting. So now that we basically have a rocket and the cargo, now we have is these blocks here that you guys may be familiar with. So you have is the refinery. This is basically the fuel refinery. And it says refinery will take an input of oil and energy and output fuel used for rockets and vehicles. So in order to make this, you just need copper canisters, stone, compressed steel, and a furnace. So I'm just going to show you guys like these recipes are just very, very expensive. And you're going to have to make compressors, decompressors, and everything. I'll actually show you the whole rundown of everything within this mod. It's very insane. Like it's very sophisticated the way how they made it. Like look at this. Like you got walkways. I will say the walkways are fine, but you have water electrolyzers. You have methane synthesizers, gas liquefiers, launch controllers. You have energy storage modules, oxygen storage modules, fabricators, electric compressors. Okay, I will say the coal generator is very, very known because all you just need is a furnace, iron, aluminum wire, and copper. I'm really familiar with this. This one generates energy, but if you look here, it's very heavy, like very cognitively heavy. Like look at this: oxygen collector, compressor, decompressor, bubble distributor, oxygen sealer. Like I will say the newer version is a lot more easier, while the older one is just you gotta be ready, like mentally ready. While the newer one, you're just excited to go. So this one is more advanced, while the new one we got is more beginner friendly. So now that we have basically shown everything with this one, I'm also going to show you guys what GUI they have added if you want to go to space. So there's a second tab here which allows us to basically go to space. So we have these thermal padding helmets and everything here because you're going to need thermal paddings just to go to space so you don't freeze. So in order to make these, you're just going to need thermal cloth. Thermal cloth is redstone and wool. I'll say it's pretty simple. It's not very expensive, but you can see that we're basically covered in thermal. Like, look at us. We're like glowing, but we might be overheating because we're on Earth anyway. But you also got to make some other units such as, let me see here. So let me just go to game mode and creative. And we have to get an oxygen mask, the oxygen gear. So basically, you're going to have to get the gear for this stuff. It's very insane. So you got to get the gear. You got to get the oxygen gear. Then you also got to get the, let me see. Yeah, this stuff you're going to have to be mentally ready for. Like, this stuff is just not something easy to go by. Like, you just got to put this stuff on. And then you also got to make a parachute because you're going to be coming down from space. I will say just as a safety measure. And I'm going to take myself a magenta parachute. So yeah, you're just going to be looking at your list. And also some oxygen tanks. So in order to make these, all you just need is, basically this is how you make a heavy one. But you can make a basic one just to, I guess, start off slower. But I might just get some pre-installed oxygen if I want to. Like, this is how you make the simple one. But you got to use like an oxygen loader just to add oxygen to your thing. I mean, it's very crazy and it's just very heavy on the tech stuff. And look at that. We got the little satellite thing moving in real time. That's kind of cool. But it's very overwhelming for a beginner. But I think once you get used to this, it's just going to be very helpful. Okay, so this is me during my editing process, and I'm just going to tell you guys the effects of working with this mod for a good 40 minutes. So I'll just say it's very cognitively heavy, and it's so sophisticating. Like, the UI is very clunky, everything just feels very compacted, and it just feels a lot more immersive in a different way. Like, if you try to compare Ad Astra to this, I'll just say Ad Astra is a lot more lighter, while Galacticraft is a lot more heavier. So if you want something that's a little more complicated, intricate, and more heavy on the knowledge of technical side, then Galacticraft is for you. If you just want something that's a little more easier and you just want to do exploration and just be that, mental load that's a lot, lighter, then just do Ad Astra. So if I want to reframe it, I'm just going to say Ad Astra for the light experience, while Galacticraft for the mentally heavy and more sophisticating experience. So just enjoy the whole showcase to the end, because I know I'm just going to be showcasing a lot of things in some ways, but that is all part of the experience. And also, I'm going to go ahead and try spawning a cow just to use these throwable meteor chunks, in which you can make just by using raw metallic iron, just to get yourself 3 throwable meteor chunks. We can also try on a sheep right here. Just throw it. It's kind of hard to see it, but it's very strong apparently. So if I just throw 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, what if I throw it up and back at me? Okay. So that's what it looks like. I mean, it's literally like a fully rendered rock. Man, the models are really interesting. Yeah, this stuff can actually hurt a mob. Very interesting. So now that we know that we throw meteors at ourselves, we equipped ourselves with the stuff. We also got can of food and dehydrated potatoes in order to make this. It's just basically potatoes and a tin canister, and tin canister is 10 ingots. So yeah, this is basically dehydrated food, but I think I just add this as a little joke because, it's dehydrated food and you're just going to need some water. Just drink some water and just eat some can of dehydrated food. Then you're fine. But we're going to have to add some fuel to these rockets, in which we're going to have to pair them off with some sort of fuel refinery. But I think you're going to have to get some fuel. So let me just see here. So this is crude oil, and I believe the crude oil probably spawns in like the Ad Astra version, where you have to find some very strange oil fountains somewhere in the world. And then you just got to bring them back here, get them processed back to fuel, and just add them to your rocket. And that's how it works. So let me just get out the, I think it's the fuel loader. So that's what it's going to be called, the fuel loader. So it says, after being connected to a launch pad, a fuel loader will allow the fuel to pass into the connected rocket or other vehicle. So in other words, it just fuels your rocket. But I would say, just to be prepared for stuff like this, just make sure you read everything and just do this gradually or subtly, just to reduce confusion. I'm going to add some coal generators just to generate energy, and it is getting dark, so I am just going to do this in creative mode for now. But this is how you basically generate energy, and it should be loading up unless I have to add cables, because I think there's a way to probably connect this stuff. So I don't see like any energy being loaded, like I don't see no batteries or anything. So let me just check out some cables. Or is it wires? Okay, so heavy aluminum wire. Okay, energy. Okay. So, yeah, I believe this is the older version, so this is going to have to be a way just to connect, basically, energy around things. It's very strange. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how this works. Unless this is, like, the inputs and outputs. Let me see here. I know they have some wrenches. Yeah, there's a standard wrench, which is compressed bronze and steel. I guess this is like their version of the wrench. Yeah, so you can actually just orient the blocks and just let them connect to each other, just like that. And then we can just give this machine some power. That's how it works. Again, you're just going to have to spend a little bit of time with this stuff until you get the hang of it. But I'm trying to figure out how to connect this one. I might have to turn you around. There we go. Now that's connected. Put that in there. Now both of these machines should be receiving power. Come on, you're supposed to be generating some power for our nice fuel loader. There we go. It's going in there. So, yep, it's basically being filled up. Now all we just got to do is wait. Fuel tank can be filled with fuel canisters. So we're just going to have to get a fuel canister, just like so. Fuel canister. And I believe this is basically full with this fuel in order to make this. Like, again, this showcase is very messy, so I do apologize. It's just very heavy on the material. So we got the fuel right here. And all we just gotta do is just put it in there, and that's what it does. And we also should check the rocket just to see if it is being filled up. Okay, let's see. Because I am totally somewhat new to this stuff. I just didn't do it for like a long time. But we just need a lot of fuel. Like tons of fuel just for this rocket. But the unfortunate reality is this rocket is just going to burn through all this fuel like pretty quickly. So that is going to be the downside. So I'm just going to get a few more of these canisters and just fill it up. Like you could kind of see it's going into the rocket because it's like slowly going in there just to indicate that it's working. But still, it's going to take a little bit of time to getting used to. But don't worry. I mean, even I still get stuck at this stuff. But we had to fill these machines up with the fuel. And I'm also got to give this one a launch, I think it's like a rocket pad or a launch controller, because that's what it's called, a launch controller. And I got to connect you. So let me orient you. Okay, never mind, it's already there. So when we do that, it says remove pad. Oh, hello again, it's me. During the editing process, I'm actually watching this as I'm editing. And I think for this part, I realized I did not connect the rocket launcher or the launcher controller to the launch pad itself. So I think that's why it didn't respond the way it did. So yeah, that was probably like the only mistake that I did with that part. But like again, as I said before and earlier in the video, this mod is very intricate and very sophisticated, and it's going to take some time to get used to. So let's proceed. Okay, removed on launch. Launch when the cargo is unloaded. Invalid frequency. All right. It's basically just a lot of interesting things. Like you also have target. It says frequency to launch rocket towards. It's very complicated. Like I'm just going to be honest. It's very complicated. So it says here, launch controllers are used to customize launch behavior, including launch criteria and destination launch path for auto launches. It's very, very complicated, but once you get used to it, it's just going to start filling in really easily. But yeah, I would say we're just going to let these rockets just process a little bit or just buffer for a little bit, and then we'll just go to space. Hey, zombie, do you want to come to space with us? Unfortunately, you can't because you're not mentally ready for space travel. So I am going to go ahead and launch this cargo. I mean, you guys may have to work with this launch pad because this stuff is very complex. Like I can remove the launch pad on launch, and it says launch when the cargo is unloaded. When cargo is full, instantly, a minute. Like you can literally just set this. Like I can let this launch for a minute. It's very insane. And it says target. Let me target. I don't know. Can I just set it to 1? It's very strange. Like right now it says it's active. So I'm not sure if it's going to be ready. So let's see. I am going to click launch just to see how this goes. Again, it's not perfect, but we're just going to let it work. So now we can launch it. Oh, come on. Can we just send it up now? Okay. It says stop loading. Okay, so it stopped loading. Can we launch? Frequency not set. I mean, I already set a frequency. It's 1. It's literally 1. You know what? Yeah, you're going to have to spend some time with that loader over there. I'm just going to be ready to go to space. So all you just got to do is get ready. And it tells you the prompts. Space to launch, ADSD to left, right, turn up and down, inventory, fuel. So if you push F, I mean, I don't know why would anybody have the cargo loader unless you're trying to, I guess, storing like a lot of items. But let me just get down and just take all that stuff out of there. I mean, this stuff is pretty complicated, but I guess if I want to play this on like a mod pack or something, then I will try it again. So let me just push F and just put my stuff in here, all my goods, and we are ready to go to space. So right now it's doing the whole countdown. We are ready because we have everything that is necessary for survival, such as thermals, frequency modules, oxygen masks, parachutes, oxygen gear, and heavy oxygen tanks. So we will last for like a while in space, but I'm just going to show you guys the experience. And look at that. We go up, and the zombie just getting burnt from liftoff. So like it says, we can turn left, right, and basically that's it. So right now, we are reaching to the atmosphere. And this is quite realistic too, because, you know, when the rocket goes all the way up in the air, you can kind of hear the sound, and then once you leave, it becomes quiet. So we have basically different areas that we can travel to: the overworld, Mars, asteroids. I think I remember asteroids specifically, but I wish we can go to Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. But I think the other parts, you may have to install some other mods, because I know there's like some additions where you can go to Mercury and Venus, but you can't go to Jupiter, Saturn. And there's also like another like solar system, which was like Citrus B or something, or Sirius B. I definitely remember that. Like, it's basically very nostalgic. You can also click on the planets just to create a space station, which requires some other materials just to set up camp. It's very cool. So let me just go to asteroids, because I remember the asteroids belt specifically. Like, I never in Ad Astra went to the asteroid belt. So let's just land on asteroids. All right, so this is what it would look like when we were in space. It's quite dark. Let me just turn off these shaders because they might be deterring with the whole visuals. But so when you turn them off, there we go. Yeah, so we're in the middle of space. So they put us on a capsule. Yep, that's what it looks like. Are we going to land? I hope we land on like a block or something. Okay, there we go. We're literally right there, and you can see like the mobs are literally on those asteroids. So how do we get out of here? All right, so we're fine. There we go. All you got to do is break it with a pick. But this is very messy because, of course, we're on the asteroid belt. So we got like creepers, we got zombies, we have skeletons. Hey, give me my diamonds. I need those. I worked too hard for those. And then we can smack them. Look at that. Basically, we're in space. And the mobs are not alone either. And you can see that our oxygen tank is slowly going down. So that is expected. So let me just collect a little bit of materials here. So we have some asteroid rock, which can be used for cobblestone. So I will say this is basically a quicker way of getting cobblestone, but I mean, what's so special about it? I mean, it just looks very different. So look, that's cobblestone, and this is asteroid rock. I just guess it just looks a lot more formal in a way. But you're going to have to, like, make your way across this whole asteroid belt. But luckily for us, the gravity isn't that bad. But look at that. We got a zombie wearing some armor. Not armor. A whole tank, too. So he's basically just vibing on the asteroid belt. Like, look at him. He's just bobbing his head to, I guess, space rock. And what ore is this? I guess this is like one of those ores that's very important. So let me just place the blocks here. Okay, what's this? This is aluminum ore. So this is a piece of aluminum. That's pretty cool. I mean, not gonna lie, the asteroid belt does contain some materials that you can see on Earth. And look at that. There's also some very little blocks around that just gives it a little bit of the aesthetic of the asteroid belt, like some moving rocks. That is just so cool. But again, you're going to have to be extra careful because you do not want to drift off to deep space, just like Star Miner, because this is pretty similar. Oh, no, we're not doing this again. So yeah, you're going to have to plan your travels a little more safely on the asteroid belt. I mean, despite the lack of gravity, this stuff can be very, very scary. And I'm trying to remember if there was like some structures or some abandoned space stations, because I think there are some abandoned space stations in this one. But this is just very cool. I mean, this is like the very start of just space exploration. Like people just probably would just go to the asteroid belt just to see what's up. But what you see here is skeletons, zombies, creepers, and spiders just existing, and possibly Endermen. It's basically mobs are not alone on the planet. And look at us. We're also moving very slow too. So that's quite realistic because space is kind of like water, but without the fluid. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is just build another space rocket again so we can just go to like another planet. And I will probably call this a video because there's still a lot more you can explore here. Like there's probably still some more things. Like you can actually find an abandoned space station if I can recall. It's just there's just a lot of things in this mod. Like there's just a lot of things you can do. And look at that. We also found a ice asteroid or maybe a comet. Like look at this. It looks pretty nice. Like you could literally be living on the asteroid belt if you want to, if you know how to install the oxygen systems properly. But who knows? I might go back and actually play some Galacticraft if I want to. And let me just try some torches in space. Will they go out like their counterpart? Glowstone torch. It says glowstone torches are best used to light areas when there is no oxygen. So let me try placing on a regular torch. As you can see, it doesn't work. So a glowstone torch would work. All you just need is, I believe, glowstone and a stick. I'm correct about that one. Yep. So everything still works. The physics and everything still works. So let me just launch again. But this time we can immediately just go to space, and then we'll just go and try out another planet. Alright, so this time we are going to select Mars, and we're just going to launch there. This is a totally different planet, and I will go into... Great. It literally just crashed my game. Wow. It crashed my game when I was about to go to Mars. Wow, that is one way to actually just stop the mission. Alright, so we came right back, and as you can see, we are back as this ball. So this is what actually happens when you enter Mars. But it was quite strange how we got kicked, and then we just launched right back into the world, and it just still continued to sequence. So yeah, this is what it would look like, and let me just go to survival mode, just like that. And then just get out of here. There we go. So now we can try to break this. We get our rocket and launch pads. I'll say that's the benefit of it. But I would say for like rocket fuel itself, I think it gets removed or it still retains it. I think in the newer versions, it probably gets removed. But look at this. This is technically Mars. And yeah, it's very barren. Barely anything, just some ice and some Mars rock. At least you can say that you went to Mars. But I'm also quite familiar with the bosses. Look at that. When you eat food, you get a tin canister to get reused again. So, yeah, like look at this. This is literally Mars. And what happens if I use shaders? I hope it doesn't like crash my game. Okay. I mean, it's kind of alright, but I still highly don't recommend the shaders to not mess with the immersion. Just keep it real. As you can see, that's our little planet right there. It kind of looks like a little itty bitty star, but it's actually a planet. Like that's very accurate whenever you look at the sky. Like you just see like it looks like a star, but it's actually a planet. And that is our sun. Like it just looks pretty cool. But you gotta be extra careful with this gravity. It's similar to like the moon, but you're still gonna have to travel with caution. And interestingly, we haven't even went to the moon yet. I think the moon is probably no different either. Maybe that one is probably a little more risky. So let me see. We got some eggs. I see some eggs around here. Maybe some Martian eggs. We might be able to, I guess, tame and breed different types of alien species. So let's just see. Let me just get up here. Because again, this stuff is pretty new to me in a way. So what do you do? Okay. Oh, so you're a blobby thing. Okay, so yeah, you could actually tame this thing and feed it. So let me see what you love eating. Okay, favorite food? Stone swords. Oh, that's pretty cool. So I think all I just gotta do is just keep feeding you a lot of food or I guess random stuff. So all I just gotta do is like get like a ton of stone swords. I mean, literally, I probably just gotta feed him like so many ton of stone swords just for him to satisfy his health. So let me just do it this way. He's probably wondering, where do you get all those stone swords from? Oh, we can grow you to make you bigger and stronger. So yeah, you can basically grow your pet. Okay. Okay, so he also now loves gold ingots. Man, his diet is very shifty. So yeah, you can actually grow your blob to become the strongest blob in Mars. So let me just grow you. And now you want a stone sword again. Come on now, make up your mind. Like, what do you love eating? So you can sit. I have a stone sword for you. Grow. And another stone sword. I'm not sure how big these guys get. But I will say it's very, like, incremental. Oh, now it's ready to breed. So if you have, like, another one nearby, you can breed it. And now you love redstone contraptions. Great. This is very something. So I really don't know his maximum. I can't believe I'm actually just feeding a blob in the middle of a showcase. Because I'm just quite intrigued of what it does. So I just keep doing this. Like, he's big. He's a big boy. Let me just feed him one more time, which is just some emeralds. And then I guess that solidifies it. Okay, so that's how tall he can grow. So we can strengthen him a little bit. And then he can take, like, flint and steel. This is crazy. But he has already reached, basically, 100% scale. His attack damage is 2.25. So we could probably try to summon, like, a zombie. Let's see, a zombie. Spawn evolved a zombie. There we go. Hey, what's up? Oh, I forgot. The sun is out. That explains it. Yeah, the sun is out. So that's why he's slowly burning. I mean, he's already surviving in space, but he's still not immune to the sun. That's so crazy. Alright, so let me just evolve the spider just to see what happens. So go to survival. Place you down. Smack you. Alright, so the blob is going to try to help fight. Help, blob. I need help fighting. Oh, he can jump? Hello? Hello? Yeah, fight him. There we go. So our blob friend is going to basically beat the spider for us. You're not really doing a good job fighting. Like, you're kind of just jumping all over the place. And then you got to keep healing him too. Basically, your nice little ally. I didn't give you all those stone swords and golds and emeralds for no reason. So you better make this fight count. Come on. I'm betting that this guy is going to beat him. Like, come on. Come on, spider. You're going to do something. This is like a very slow fight. Okay. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Oh, no. He's getting comboed by a spider. Come on. Beat him. No way. He just got owned by a spider. That's insane. So, yeah. You're going to have to give that dude a lot of strength if you ever want him to succeed in those fights. But let's just go ahead and check what else is in this mod. So yeah, you will see most of these eggs on Mars. So yeah, you have every way to keep breeding those guys over and over. But I'm also wanting to spawn in a few of those bosses, because I know there's like some boss eggs. So we got like evolved creeper boss and the evolved skeleton boss. So let me just see what these guys look like. Let me just set time set today. And then let's spawn in the evolved creeper. It's basically a creeper with 3 heads. I mean, that's a very creative fight. So what do? Do I just throw some projectiles at you? Oh yeah, it's basically a very easy boss. Just keep deflecting the TNTs at him. I mean, it's not really hard. Like, just... I guess he spawns like in a dungeon, so I think you're fine. Look at that. And I think over time you take out his heads. Dude, you're not even that hard. I can do this all day. And let me see if I can actually smack you with my armor. Yeah, you can kind of smack him with the armor. Yeah, it's kind of loose here. So yeah, you're going to have to deflect those TNTs constantly. It's like playing Pong with a creeper. Alright, so when you do that, so what happens? He drops a lot of experience, and he drops the key. And I think the key is to open a crate somewhere, because he's one of those bosses. And now we are going to summon in the evolved skeleton boss. So let's just see how this one's gonna go. Oh yeah, this guy has bows, and I think he also picks you up too. Yeah. And he makes that very stupid sound that I am just so annoyed by, but it's stupid. Let go of me. Dude. It's the very corniest laugh I've ever heard. I'll say there's a way to beat him, just, I guess, go under a block and just keep farming him. Stop it. You need to stop with them annoying sound bits. But that's how innovative this mod was. It's like, yeah, they just love to have fun with it. So let me just dig a little trench so he doesn't like pull me out of there. Yeah. Come on, you stupid evolved skeleton boss. Come on, I'm just going to lure you to a little trap. Come on, come over here. Come on. You're not too far. A little closer. A little closer. Yeah, yeah. Come on. Fall in this hole. Oh, come on. You literally just picked me up. That literally defies all logic there. This is crazy. He literally just picked up the blocks. Once you kill him, he does the same animation like the creeper. He drops experience and a key. There we go. So, yep, that's what they do. A dungeon key. So, these are dungeon bosses. Let me just go to creative mode. I'm just going to see if there's, like, any dungeons in the Mars planet. Because I believe there should be, but I could be very unsure. But you're going to have to either download Xeros or, like, some map mod just to figure it out. Okay, so when you go underground, yep. So, this is, like, one of those areas. You got a lot of green goop everywhere. I guess this goop might be toxic, so you gotta be extra careful. But there's a lot of ore, like dash ore, tin, copper, gold, diamonds. It's pretty much an array of things. But let me just go and investigate this area. Let me just break you. Oh, okay. So yeah, these are poisonous vines. Yeah, they're very poisonous. So you gotta be extra careful when handling these things. And what's this? Oh, it spawns little leeches. Very interesting. I guess you can probably make a little leech farm if you want. Wait a minute. What if I threw like a, let's see. Ow! Like, how are they spawning in? I guess you gotta avoid... Oh, okay. You gotta be extra careful when you're near that stuff, because even experience bottles spawns those guys in. So this is literally in an infection. Okay, so creative, go there. So just make sure you get rid of this immediately, because this stuff's going to keep making more of that goop, more of those space leeches. But now that I know not to accidentally kill anything near the green goop, it will never keep biting our ankles. But the unfortunate part is mobs can still walk on it and it will still cause even more problems. So yeah, I think that is pretty much all for Galacticraft Legacy. It's basically just the older version of Ad Astra, while Ad Astra is the newer version of Galacticraft. So yeah, I am just going to go ahead and just conclude the showcase, because this mod is very cognitively heavy, and it still is. I mean, it's very similar to that Astra, like with everything being complicated, go to different systems, build space stations and everything like that. But I'm trying to make the experience feel more immersive, as if you are going to space, because it's all about mental mental readiness versus just having the thrill of going to space. Like, you can still go to space and Ad Astra very easily, but in Galacticraft Legacy, you're just going to put in a little more time and a little more patience to going to space, so you won't feel like you're mentally unprepared, but mostly prepared just to withstand all the environmental changes different from Earth. But if you guys enjoy this showcase, then I'm very grateful. But again, I really hope this showcase was good enough to an extent just to at least show you some of the similarities and differences with Ad Astra and Galacticraft. But it seems like Galacticraft is just mostly known for its overly intricate and complex systems that you can set up, and some things you will never ever see in Ad Astra unless they do peer into this video, or maybe to some older videos of Galacticraft just to get more ideas, and look at Earth just slowly going down the horizon. But until then, I'll see you guys with another mod showcase, and also give credit to the Galacticraft team for this mod. So yeah, that is all for everything, and see you guys with another mod showcase.